Hello and welcome back to The Lion's Den, the only podcast run by an angry British person who has no audacity or authority to speak on the topics he chooses. I'm your host as Matt as always, and today I have one topic in mind and then a slight side topic that I'll go over because Sod's Law. Sod's Law seems to be a recurring theme in my life, I've found, and sometimes I get away with it, sometimes it's my arch nemesis. Why? You've been quiet for like the past 5 minutes, and the minute I sit down and start recording, the fan goes wild. Genius. Anyway, let's start with today's topic of conversation, which is the wonderful Spotify Smart Shuffle, because I got a bone to pick with Spotify, man. What have they done? What have they done? The Smart Shuffle has become increasingly worse, which I find hilarious. So as I've explained previously, Spotify introduced this enhanced feature which looked through your liked song library and then used AI intelligence whatever to try and figure out songs you would like and slot new songs into your library for you to listen to, and that would get mixed into your shuffle and whatnot, and you can then add them to your liked songs if you enjoyed them, and it was good. And it would learn over time as you added more songs to your library. It would learn and get smarter and add more things that you enjoy. They then removed this feature but slammed it into a shuffle rather than just a button that toggles in your liked songs. So now instead what it will do is you shuffle your library and then it will slot in stuff into your queue, into your song queue of your shuffle of new stuff. And it's awful. It's genuinely awful, and I don't quite understand why it's so bad. First off, getting it to actually activate half the time is just the first hurdle. I've noticed that if you launch the app fresh, it's been closed, you launch it, you select Smart Shuffle and then hit play, fine, it works. If you already had the app running and you've already hit shuffle and then you toggle it to shuffle with enhanced with suggestions, half the time it works, half the time it doesn't work. It doesn't seem to be able to take the shuffle it's created, throw it out, and then bringing a new shuffle with the extra songs in. It just either doesn't do anything, or it might be smart enough to then go, okay, let me slot in the songs that are new. And it's inconsistent, right? I assumed, based on looking at it, that it would slot in a new song every 2 songs or every 3 songs. So it'd play 2 of your songs you've already got, and then it would put in a new one. But no, it doesn't do that. Sometimes it's every 2 songs, sometimes it does it back to back, and then sometimes it's like a new song, new song, and then a bunch of old songs, and it seems to run out, I've noticed, because I will go flicking through the queue to look at the new stuff, because that's what I want, right? I want to see the new stuff, and then I'll get halfway down the shuffle list, and it'll just be blank. It'll just be my regular songs. So it just gives up at some point as well, which is ridiculous. I'm like, surely this, like, algorithm can just keep running? No? I have 500 songs in my liked library. I know that's not huge or compared to a lot of people, but that's a lot of songs and a lot of data, and you're telling me you can't figure it out? The next problem is that it looks at my entire library of data. Not the liked songs, everything. Which means mine is completely screwed, because I dared to listen to lo-fi for an hour one time 3 months ago, and guess what it decides to then recommend me? Lo-fi. No, I don't want to go from electronic music into Ed Sheeran into lo-fi. No, I want more fun stuff. That's what my liked library is. It's all the fun stuff. If I want chill lo-fi music, which I do enjoy, I will go get it. I will go find it. There is a playlist for it, okay? Ignore the fact that I sit and listen to that for an hour. The enhanced feature used to just use the liked songs, right? It used to just use that bank of data to try and suggest you more music. Nowhere in my liked library is a huge chunk of lo-fi, so the fact that it's been pulling that data from elsewhere to pump in is really infuriating, because it means that my suggestions are wildly out. It also has a really bad habit of, oh, you listened to this song once because it was stuck in your head. You know what? I'm just going to recommend that to you. My example is I went and listened to Telephone by Lady Gaga and Beyonce. Fantastic track, just saying. Wonderful track. But I had it stuck in my head. So I went, I listened to it. Great. Guess what Spotify now keeps putting in the smart shuffle? Every time, without fail, it will be in there somewhere. And it's like, come on, I listened to this song like 3 times. I have tracks in my liked library that I've listened to far more. Why can't you take that information and give me recommendations based off that? It boggles the mind because they had this. They had it correct. It worked. It functioned well to the point where I said to people, wow, I really liked the enhanced feature because it's shown me songs either I didn't know but really like, or it's found songs from my past that I forgot about and I'm now getting to re-enjoy, and now it just produces rubbish that I don't really understand. If you can't understand that if I add a song to my liked playlist and then remove it, if you can't understand that that means I don't want that song anymore, what? For context, I put in Chelsea Dagger because I thought it was a good song. I was wrong, it's not my vibe, so I removed it from my liked playlist. But guess what Spotify recommends? Infuriating. It's really annoying because it's stagnated my progression of finding new music. That's what keeps me coming back, is that I have a bunch of old songs that I will love and vibe and jam to every now and again, but I really want fresh new stuff constantly. And by fresh new stuff I mean just new to me, not necessarily like new songs from the last year. If I can't find that, I just won't listen to music. Which is really stupid. So sorry, I've been wanting to get this out in my head because it's so ridiculous that they've just left this. And I thought that the DJ thing was going to be a nice solution to this problem. I thought, oh, it's probably a bit more sophisticated, maybe there's more information that they're piping in and it will be more relevant. Nope, the DJ is just as bad, recommending stuff that I really don't care about or have had. It's even worse in the sense that it will recommend just popular stuff, not stuff that it thinks would be enjoyable to me and is popular. It will just recommend popular stuff, and I'm like, no, I don't want to listen to rap music from Western America. That's not at all what I'm interested in. But whatever, it does. Also, it says my full name. It's like, no, nobody. I haven't had somebody call me my full name in probably literal, maybe like a decade. I was going to say literal decades, but I've not been around on this earth for that long. Either way, I hope it'll improve, or I hope that they'll maybe revert it. That would be the best thing, is if they could just bring back the old feature, because it just worked better. But what can I say? I digress. Spotify is still extremely useful to me. It's got a huge library of songs. It's got the biggest feature to me is there is a rain white noise playlist that just plays rain noises, which I use to sleep to because it's wonderful. Anyway, let's wrap up with a small dilemma I've been having for the past couple weeks. Well, 2 dilemmas actually. The first one is that I've been wanting to buy a new tablet for the longest time because mine has decided it wants to explode, and I was so close to pre-ordering the brand new Samsung Tab S9 because of the pre-order deals that you could get, but it's still a lot of money, and I'm gonna go through with my secondary plan, which is I was hoping that when the S9 is released, the S8 will therefore become cheaper. Currently that is not the case. They're still selling the S8 at full whack, despite the fact that you can pre-order the S9 for less and get more whatever. But Sod's Law would dictate that what happened last time is when they released the S8, the S7 just disappeared into the ether and you couldn't buy it anymore. And I imagine this is what's going to happen to the S8, so we'll find out about that. The second issue is I'm still looking at keyboards because my current keyboard has decided that the spacebar should press twice every now and again, which is infuriating when you type for 8 hours a day for your day job. So I came down to a conclusion that I'd found this really nice looking hot swap keyboard that was fairly cheap, and people were like, yeah, it's pretty decent, you can mod it and do whatever you want to it. And I was gonna buy this and a bunch of silent switches because I really want a quiet keyboard, because every keyboard I see and listen and play with is so loud and I don't want that. The problem is, the keyboard I'm looking at is white, but has red switches, as in linear switches. The black alternative of said keyboard comes with blue switches, and you cannot intermingle them. You cannot order the keyboard as black, but with the linear red switches. So either I have to sacrifice the switches I get with the board and pray the switches I buy are good to get the black keyboard, or I buy the white keyboard with the hope that I can then maybe modify it later down the line, because aesthetically I think a black base will go better with different keycaps, but I want the red switches that I could potentially mod in the future. It's complicated and crazy and annoying, and I don't quite know what to do, but my current plan is to go and try a different keyboard in person on Saturday to see if I like that one, and we'll buy that one. Anyway, I've rambled, and hopefully I will cut some of this out because, yeah, bit of a rant episode. Apologies about that, but it's been on the mind for a while. Anyway, I hope you've all enjoyed listening. Stay safe, and I'll see you all next week. Bye!